Ready, Andrew? Okay. A car we didn't think we were doing before, we are doing. The Toyota Crown.
Impact video is saved during parking.
So what do you think? What is the... There. We'll have that go. And drive. So the owner of this... Oh, you were never here for the POV before, where I attempt to talk like Matt Farah. Yeah, you can talk.
Okay.
I'm going the wrong way. This is, how did you describe this, Andrew? It is a Toyota Camry.
It's like a luxury Camry, but rear-wheel drive.
Right. And it's using the engine that was also our Lexus IS350.
Correct.
Okay. But I don't think this is an automated manual. This feels like when I was revving it out before in like snow mode, it felt like it was just throwing a torque converter.
This is a natural auto, yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea how many gears it is.
Apparently either a 6 or an 8, depending on the year. I think this one might be a 6.
It was weird. I don't think I can count. Well, I'm concentrating now because this is day 5 in New Zealand, and I'm showing no real progress driving cars, although when I was driving the motorcycle, I was doing very well. Because all the controls were the same. This feels like it's somewhere between a Camry and a Lexus, but the attitude that Americans have toward the Crown is that it's some sort of mysterious Toyota Bentley, which it isn't. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's much more like I guess a Japanese Lexus in a way. Like if they sold this in the States,
it would have a Lexus badge.
It would have a Lexus badge on.
Clearly.
It would also be way softer and way less. I guess it's a little bit towards being like a sporty BMW made by Toyota. That's kind of what they're shooting for.
The steering is not BMW. The steering is soft. The steering is not quite American soft, but if you put your average Yank in this and the steering wheel was on the Freedom side, it would... Not that good of a joke? No.
It works.
They wouldn't feel that anything is wrong. Because I don't feel anything is wrong. But I will put this in sport mode, which I guess is just sharpening up the throttle response. Yeah, because that's all you can do.
It may change the steering as well, I'm not sure. And I know some of them had like air suspension. Not sure if this one does though.
I'm just weaving back and forth here. Eco mode, sport mode. Yeah, it got firmer. It didn't feel like it got faster, it just feels like it got firmer.
And it definitely changes the throttle response a lot. It gets really quite quick on the throttle.
Right.
In sport.
Normally we don't do shots like this where you film the driver, but it's fun for you to see how much I'm concentrating where everything's mirrored. And I'm on a road which back in Pennsylvania would have a speed limit of 35 miles an hour, and it is 100 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit here on this winding road is the equivalent of 62 miles an hour. So 100 kilometers, 50. If this were back in the US, you would have a speed limit of about 58 kilometers an hour would be your top speed here.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would drive me mad.
And here I'm doing, like, I'm moving pretty good on this winding road and I'm below the speed limit.
See, here speed limits are like the maximum you might want to do, whereas it seems in the States it's you can do this everywhere and be safe.
Right. we have Lexus wheels on this car, though.
Off an ISF, I believe.
Andrew is not the owner of this car. That is Phil. Phil everything. Phil everybody, because he knows everybody. Just loaned us this car for a day so we would have an extra car to do, and I was quite impressed with, like, there is some cheapness of this plastic right here. So it's not quite the softness that you would, at least from a Yankee would expect from a luxury car, but there are tons of little things, like when you lock the car, the mirrors fold in, and there are puddle lights under the door so you don't splash, you don't step into a puddle. And Phil, the owner, put little lenses in there that say Crown. You saw in the beginning that there was a Crown animation and a little music that played when you come in. The lights, as they turn on, fade on. It is, I think you could drive this in the US and no one would really notice it, that anything was different. I suppose some maybe JDM weeaboos would freak out. Oh my God, it's a Toyota Crown. It's a supercar. It's for Japanese businessmen. Oh, another thing. You have a dotted line unbroken. This would only be a dotted line if it was a straightaway. Everything else would be a single yellow. It would probably be a single yellow on a road, on a country road like this, or it'd be a double yellow, and it would only get to a passing lane where both people could. I went off the road again. Where both people could see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Basically, most of our philosophy is we'll let you make your own mistakes.
God, so beautiful. It looks fake as shit.
The catchphrase.
Yeah. We have a turnaround coming up here soon.
You can go that way if you want to open up a bit.
Yeah, can do. This is day 5, and certain things are creeping into my vocabulary in a way they didn't do in the UK. I'm turning right.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay, am I still on? Oh, I'm in sport mode. Here we go. The direct injection V6 is pretty good. I suppose if Americans would get this, they'd put a louder exhaust on it. Is the Highlander not behind us anymore?
It may have decided to turn around. They'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, there's some sort of boxy SUV behind us now. Alright. One thing that's really weird that would change in the US is your parking brake is a pedal, and it's on the inside next to the transmission tunnel. That's weird, because when I lift up my left foot off of a dead pedal that isn't there, the pedal is right now touching the very bottom of my shin or the top of my ankle. That's weird. If for this to be sold in the US, there would be a handbrake here, or it would be a electric one.
So where's the handbrake on a US LS 400 or 430? Because it's on the floor.
I have to remember, if it is on the floor, it's up and out of the way.
Okay.
Because I have to remember if people will remind me where it is. But it's not, the transmission tunnel is definitely wider. Because having this to hit the parking brake, having it on the inside of the inside of the footwell is very odd.
I guess the closest thing you're going to get is a Lexus IS in the States, really.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot like this.
But they're going to put big sports seats in there, whereas this has more comfortable, gentleman-y seats. I was about to indicate